Hello, boss. Do you have chai? One chai. Before I get to the topic in the description, let me show you a bit of a view of Fujairah. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Drone shot! We're here scuba diving in Fujairah.
Sama kayo!
It's 6:51 a.m. and I'm here at Fujairah. It's a long holiday here in the UAE, so one of the good things to do is to go scuba diving in Fujairah, which is the best spot in the UAE for diving. It has access to the Gulf of Oman, which is teeming with marine life. So this is where recreational divers go to dive. But Fujairah is more than that. If you visit Fujairah, it has some nice wadis. And if you'd like to see a bit of history, it also has some forts. But anyway, I'm going to Dibba Port, where we'll take off as usual for today's activity. The only problem is, I don't really go diving during August. August is the peak of summer here in the UAE. The summer is between May to October, but August is the hottest really. So I don't recall diving during August. But it's a long holiday, so we'll give it a shot. Fujairah, again, as I've mentioned earlier, it's one of the Emirates of the UAE. By the way, when we say Emirates, we mean a territory or a state that is governed by an emir. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but an emir could be a leader, could be royalty, could be a prince, or could be a military commander. So when we say Emirate, it's a territory that is led by an emir. This definitely feels a bit more provincial than Dubai, obviously. So if you want to get away just to relax or just, chill for a moment, then visit Fujairah. It's not that far. I mean, it's just less than 2-hour drive from Dubai, and there are lots of resorts. Even if you're not a diver and you just want to relax and you want to get away for a holiday or a staycation, then you could still find your way here. Some of the nicer hotels are in a place called Al-Aka, but there are lots of options that you can get from within the city as well. So since I'm going with an independent dive instructor, Mitch, you've met her before in my previous video, our takeoff point is here in a port somewhere in Fujairah. I think this is an Al Hussein fish market, and then there's a port here. Other options could be going through the different dive resorts, I think in Al-Aka, or you can also do it from Dubai. The advantage is you've got facilities there to wash yourself and to wash your gear. But if we do it here, the only slight difference is that we kind of clean ourselves and our gear at home. So the sun is up and I think the wind is less as opposed to this morning, but it's still a bit gloomy for my liking. I think it will help because I didn't bring any sunscreen, so I'm gonna get myself burned. If you have your own dive gear, which I've already acquired through the years, the only thing you need really is the boat and the tanks. If you don't have the tanks, I'll introduce you to my friends. Heidi, I hope you don't lose your stuff. Ate May, and dive instructor Mitch. You've met her before in my previous video.
Yes. Hello guys.
So we're here at the boat. As you can see, we're taking all the necessary precautions. The capacity of the boat is 15, but there's only like 7 of us here, and everybody's wearing face masks except Sagar and Iqbal, but they're doing social distancing, so it's fine. Iqbal manages the boat when we come here. He's always our guy, together with Michelle. If you want to go diving, just reach out to Michelle and then he'll hook you up with Iqbal. Several factors that determine a good dive. So it's the surface temperature. It's surprising because it's just 32. It's a positive, it's not that hot. Now we'll have to check out the temperature underwater. Second is the visibility, and then the current conditions, and then the waves. As you can see, the surface waves are really high right now, so we'll have to see if the current underwater will be fine, and then also the marine life. So let's see what the diving gods have in store for us today. Earlier, some of the divers went to the water to check the current, and one was taking the precautions to the extreme. Why did I say that? Because she went into the water and still she was wearing her face mask. That's commitment for you. Just okay, so it turns out that the first dive site is called Artificial Reef. We've been here before, it's in the previous video. Artificial Reef is a shallow dive, 10 to 15 meters. You see artificial reefs in the form of cement, tires and ropes, and also a small boat. We spent around 57 minutes under there, and now we are resting back on the boat. So this is normally the time where we have snacks. So we had watermelon on the boat, and then now we're resting for an hour, and then we'll set up and head to Dibba Rock, which is the second dive site. If we're talking about dive sites here in the UAE, Fujairah has a lot to offer. It has everything you might need. You want shallow dives, you want deep dives, shipwrecks, you can find them all here in Fujairah, which is why a lot of people from Dubai are coming in just to go diving in this area. We are now preparing for the second dive, which is Dibba Rock, and we'll be descending in 10 minutes, maybe. So we just finished the second dive and we're now heading back to the air. We did Dibba Rock. That's what I've said earlier. And we thought it was gonna be normal. We thought that the first dive is so much better. But then towards the end of the dive, the visibility got clearer and we saw two things. First of all, at 12 meters, we saw fish swimming away, and then we saw a bird chasing it at 12 meters. I wasn't able to get the footage. And then the second thing is we saw a turtle. And the turtle stayed with us for 5 minutes. But we noticed that it was scratching the right cheek. And then some of my dive companions thought that there's a thorn or a sea urchin stuck to the cheek, and we tried to take it off, but the turtle didn't want to be bothered, so we left him alone after trying several times. So all good. Dibba Rock is amazing. We'll get off the boat now and we'll unload the stuff. Absence of the facilities of a dive resort, you'll have to learn to wing it. Like, I'm outside here and I'm changing clothes. Same as everybody else. That's part of the fun though. So it's 1 o'clock and we are done. That was a good 2 dives. Good day. Now I'm hungry. Do you know that diving burns a lot of calories? I'm famished. And I think so are my companions, so we'll go and get lunch somewhere. We normally go to a Filipino restaurant called Inay's restaurant or Mother's restaurant. But just for today, I feel like eating something different. Something local. So we're eating here at Al Jazeera restaurant, an Arabic restaurant. We're sitting here Bedouin style where we will share a meal. Now we ordered Mandy and Mandi, grilled chicken and lamb. So let's eat. Traditionally, you eat in one plate as what families normally do, but since we're trying to be cautious, we each have a plate. But the way to eat this really is by hand and then share it amongst the family members. Good. So we finished things off with kunafa. It's an Arabic sweet, but this time it's not the traditional one. We have a variation because instead of just sugar, it has Nutella. And so I think it should be extra sweet. It's actually nice. Nice. Hi guys. We go our separate ways. They're heading back to Dubai, and I think I'll try to have one final stop before I call it a day. Alright, before I head back home to Dubai, I want to bring you to this place to show you that Fujairah is not all just beaches, scuba diving. It's not just limited to water activities. Fujairah has also a lot of heritage sites like the one behind me. It's called the Bidyah Mosque. Bidyah Mosque is the second oldest mosque here in the UAE. As a trivia, the oldest is in Al Ain. This is the second oldest, and they've estimated this to be built during 1446. So this is an old mosque, and it's still in use today. Unfortunately, due to the COVID restrictions, we're not allowed to visit the site, but it would have been nice to enter there and see something of historical value. This area, apart from the mosque, it features 2 watchtowers used as a lookout tower to protect the mosque and its people, the people of this town. Now it's located in a highway, so it's easily accessible. So if you're in Fujairah, don't lose the opportunity and visit this place too, and check it out. Fujairah has a lot of heritage sites, so apart from going to the beach, I suggest you come and visit some of them, like this mosque, and also some forts, Fujairah forts, that are also here in this area. So it's 3 o'clock. I think I'll call it a day driving to Dubai, and it's gonna take around 2 hours, so I might reach home by around 5 o'clock. This concludes my scuba diving activity in Fujairah with a little something else. So please subscribe if you haven't, and follow me for other videos. Try my best to release UAE based videos once a month. So thank you for reaching to this part. Thank you for staying for this long, and I hope I'll see you again soon. Ciao!